everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of the KnitKnackChat knitting podcast. My name is Zach. Today is Saturday, June 19th. It is almost noon today in Hastings, Minnesota, where I'm coming to you from. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. It's been a gorgeous weekend, and I'm excited to go out and sit and knit outside after I record this and get it edited a little bit. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as KnitKnackZach. Yes, I do have a Ravelry group, which I'll put in the down bar along with all of the show notes and everything as per usual. And I guess there's not much else to say. It's been about a month. I think it's been a little bit less than a month from my last episode, which is gonna probably be my norm because I don't get a lot of quiet time while I'm home during the summer. I hope to get an episode out in July, but July is really busy for me with one of my jobs that I'm doing. I have like 2 really intense weeks with the marching band that I'm working with this summer. So it'll be hard to get some knitting in and to sit down and like record an episode. What happened in the last month? What happened in May? Not too much happened. I house sat for a bit where I got most of my knitting done. I got a friend into knitting, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, there's not too much. June is almost over. I'm almost like halfway done with summer, which is really crazy. And I want to go back to school, but I'm also like, there's a lot that I have to do when I go back to school. So there's that. I think that's about it. I have frogged, I think, 4 projects since the last episode because I wasn't in love with them. So I frogged them because when you're in doubt with a project, you should just really frog it. I don't really like having things sitting on my needles. If it's on my needles, I know I'll work on it. But if it's been on my needles and I haven't touched it in a few weeks, or if I haven't touched it in a few weeks and then I pick it up and I start knitting on it and I'm like, I don't really love it, then I'll just frog it. But that's just how I am, I guess. So I frogged my outline tank by Jessie May. What else did I frog? I frogged my Parallelogram blanket by Stephen West. Are those the only 2 things I frogged? That I frogged more. Oh, and my Tuesday shawl by MUSE2320. I'm going to save that yarn for a different project, hopefully in the future when it comes out. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, I want to thank and welcome everybody who's watching, everybody who is old. Thank you guys for coming back and clicking on my videos. It really means a lot. And for the influx of new subscribers that I've gotten, I think I just passed 400, or I'm getting really close to 4 and then almost 5. And I really want to try and do a giveaway for 500 subscribers. So it doesn't take a lot to click the subscribe button, click the like button, and comment what you're working on while you're watching this, if you're working on anything. Don't be afraid to post this on your story. I'm really excited to see where this community is going, and I'm happy that you guys are welcoming me in so generously. So let's get started with finished object. Firstly, I am wearing my finished object. These are just a basic vanilla sock. Yeah, basic vanilla sock. This is out of MUSE2320 Mockingbird, which is her 80/20 sock base, 2-ply. They are in the colorway, the main body is in Leica, and then the heels, toes, and cuffs are in a little, I'm gonna take it off my foot, or just in like a blue mini that I snagged. They're kind of loose and baggy and more house socks. But what I did is I blocked them on a blocker, which I don't really tend to do. Let me know how you guys block your socks, because I'm curious. I don't like blockers because some of them are way too thick, and they stretch it out more than my foot is. Maybe I just need to get a smaller blocker, or find a smaller blocker. But I usually just like wash them, and the first time I'll lay them out to dry, but then after that I'll just throw them in the dryer because they're super wash. So yeah, I really love this cake, this yarn, and I have a lot in my stash left, and I might end up throwing it into a shawl because I kind of ran out of a color at the end of a section, which I'll show you guys later in the whips. My next finished object, so I was like here, so I am, so this is the Harvest Cardigan by TinCanKnits. So, again, it's been a month, and I knit kind of fast, and I am a small person, so I tend to always knit the smallest or second smallest size of patterns, just because that's how I am. So I just finished the raglan. I finished the raglan up until like the increase, like up until like here or something, and then I had a few more rows to do before I could split for the sleeves. I thought I was done with raglan, but I wasn't. You just have to increase the front panel for a little bit. So yeah, so this is the Harvest Cardigan by TinCanKnits. Before I talk about the modifications I made, I am going to talk about the yarn. So this is, again, my best friend, boss, and literal love of my life. This is MUSE2320 in her Crow superwash, or non-superwash, worsted base. So it's worsted weight yarn. The main body is in rosin, which is supposed to be a tonal, more of a tonal mustard, or not mustard, more of a tonal rosin color. That's really bad to say. Like a coppery color, but with non-superwash, it really broke in the pan as she dyed it, and she won't be dyeing it again because there's these patches of green that happen, and like this like dark break that happened in some of the skeins. Some of the skeins were pretty consistent, but some of them weren't. I was kind of good about alternating skeins, kind of bad. I didn't really care. And then my border and my cuffs are black walnut. So I really love this combination. It's really fall, and I think I'll wear it a lot in the fall. One modification I would have made that I didn't is I would have added short rows in the back or something, or maybe I should have just done a size bigger, because I added 2 stitches already to my underarm, but I should have added a few more because it's a little big, or it's a little tight. Hopefully it kind of will relax and open up after I wash it, but who knows? It is non-superwash, so it might not. And if that, I might just end up giving it to a friend, but also I may not because it's non-superwash. Or I'll just give it to Sarah as a shop sample, which I'm totally fine with doing. So clearly the obvious modification I made is I have a contrasting button band. I don't put any buttonholes in it because when it gives the note to do buttonholes, I was like past where I wanted my first buttonhole. And also it's really tight, and I don't think I would wear it with buttons now. So I think I'd just keep it open, my ends. They're woven in, they're just not cut, because I'll cut them after I wash them. But I did a contrast collar, button band, cuffs, which was super easy. I did intarsia on both sides in order to get that. In my notes on my project page, I linked the woman that did the first 2-color harvest. So she has notes in her Ravelry. I'm not going to steal her notes, so I'm going to send you guys over to her. I don't have her name off the top of my head. But yeah, it was really awesome to see that somebody already did that and kind of figured out how to get the color change. And it was really fun. It was kind of finicky because I had to work with 3 balls of yarn to get it, but I loved it. I have one question for everybody. I noticed something while I was knitting my swatch for this project. So it's knit flat because it's a cardigan. So in flat stockinette, you knit 1 row and then purl back on the other side. It's usually always fine the first knit row, and then you'll purl back like normal. But my question is, and if you need to knit a swatch to check this, please do, because I'm super curious if it's just how I'm knitting, if I'm purling wrong, or if it's just something that happens. But after you do your first purl row and you go back across to knit, do you guys knit into the front of the stitch like you normally would, or do you knit through the back of the stitch? I found that I have to knit through the back of knit through the backs instead of just regular knitting when I do flat stockinette, because in my purl I think I'm twisting my stitches, and now that I see it here in this project, I've noticed why my purl rows in like shawls and in flat pieces, that my purl rows are always twisted more and smaller than my knit rows because of the way that I'm working the purl row with like knitting through the front loop versus knitting through the back loop. So I did that on this, and I have a more consistent fabric. My fabric is more consistent. I wonder if I can pull, do I have anything? No, I can't really see anything that's like kind of in my finished objects that's the same. So yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Please let me know in the comments below what you think this problem could be. Andrea Mowry was talking in her Q&A vlog about rowing out. She gave me a link to a video that I still need to go back and watch to see if that's what I'm doing, if I'm rowing out. I don't think I am, because I don't run out of yarn that way. It's more of the inconsistency in the row gauge, because my purl stitches get smaller because I'm twisting them more than I am my knit rows. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. Is I've learned a lot from this project because I have figured out that I'm knitting or purling wrong when I knit flat. Because when I knit in the round, it's perfectly fine. The stitches don't change because I'm not purling at all. So, and I'm starting to do in more complicated patterns, I'm starting to notice it as well when I'm knitting flat, and I'm like, do I need to be doing something funky to like knit through the back loop so that it doesn't twist? So that's a whole mess right now. So yeah, so this has to go for a wash and a block. Here's the back panel. I really love this this red stripe in the back. Yeah, so this is Crow, non-superwash, merino. Super nice, super soft. And I'm excited to wash it and see what happens. Put that over in this bag. Boop. My next finished object that I showed you guys was in progress was the Finch Hat by MUSE2320. This is knit again all in Muse yarn. Harbor and Mocha Chip are the two top colors. These were scraps from a project that I was working... No, these were scraps from the Harlow hat by Andrea Mowry that I had ripped out. So it's a 2-color brioche beanie, fingering weight, that I'd ripped out. And then the rim is the Dongle BFL by Muse, again, knit in the Storm? I think it's Storm. I think this is Storm. Either it's Storm or no, because Fog is bluer, so this is Storm because it's more green. So yeah, so I'm going to give this to my dad when they get back from camping. Because my dad's bald. He needs hats. So I'm going to give it to him. So my next two finished objects you didn't see because I cast them on during the month and finished them because they are more hats. And there's a funny story to go with this first set of hats. Yes, I said set because I knit 2 of them. So if you guys didn't know, halfway through May, Andrea Mowry did a Flicker and Flame KAL where you were supposed to knit her Flicker and Flame hat, which is the colorwork hat that's worsted. So I did that, and I knit 2. Here are my 2 hats. These are the same size hat. I'll just let that soak in. Yep. I knit the adult large hat for both hats. Yep. Yep, I did. I promise you. These are both... I knit these the exact same. So, I knit these out of, again, the main color. I'll just show you this one because it's prettier. The main color is MUSE2320 Crow in cast iron, and then the contrast color is Noro Curirum, excuse me. Contrast color is Noro Curiron. Oh god, where's the camera? There it is. It's that. I hope you can see it. So this is an Aran weight. It's listed as an Aran weight, but it says it's 4 on the label, so I'm going to trust that it's a 4 on the label. This is how much I have left of the Noro. I have about the same amount left, I think, of the cast iron. So I could make a smaller... No, I can't. I can, like, just miss making a small hat. Like, the smallest size. For the worsted weight version. So I did the worsted weight version because I don't have any sport weight in my stash as much as I'd love to have spin cycle. I don't. So I chose this. So these are both from the same cake of self-gradiating. You can kind of see where it led. Bloop. Yeah. So it started in this deep purple, went to the green, then went back to the pink purple, and then was going to end on the red and purple again. So yeah, so these are both the same size. What happened to this hat, you may ask? So when I had gotten back from house sitting, I had a whole lot of laundry that I had to do. And apparently this was in my laundry basket. And my mom asked before she went ahead and did my laundry, hey, is there anything in here that needs any special care? And I said, no, there's not knowing that this hat was in my laundry basket. So it went through the wash, which honestly would have been fine if I would have caught it. And then it went through the dryer. And I went and I was unloading the dryer and I saw this hat and I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, this was my favorite hat. Of the two, this was my favorite. I was going to keep this one, and then I was going to give this one to Sarah to have as a sample in her shop. I think I'm going to give this one to Sarah as a sample, even though... Well, no, I think I might gift this one. I'll still give this one to Sarah. Probably, maybe I'll keep it. Or I'll knit another one for her, which I don't mind. Here, let me put it on. Yeah, I love it. It's a really cozy hat. I don't wear hats a lot, but I would wear this in the winter, 100%. But it fits my nephew fine, so I might give it to a friend who has a child soon, or maybe as a gift to my nephew. But who knows? So that's that. That's the craziness that happened with this hat. Yay! And my last finished object, that is also something you didn't see, is, again, 100% Muse related because that's literally my life. So this is the spiral. Wait, this is the better side. There we go. This is the spiral hat by MUSE2320. So Spiral Brewery is a local brewery that is literally 2 doors down from the yarn shop. And when Sarah opened, she designed a hat and like a beer glove pattern. So this is a modification of the pattern that she did for a needle size down with a different colorway. So the colorway that you see used instead of the spiral orange that is usually offered is called High Five. High Five was Sarah's Pride Month colorway that she did, and $5. So it's called High Five because $5 of each yarn that was purchased is going to the Trevor Project. Unfortunately, pre-orders are closed, and I think she'll be doing another. I have no idea. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But Corey from iRock Knits designed a hat with that yarn in the Raven base, which is what this is. So this is both in Raven, which is her Erin Worsted 100% superwash merino. It doesn't stripe up this pretty. It's 100% variegated. Avert your eyes if you don't like messy ends, but I wanted it to stripe perfectly when I did it, so I cut and snipped little chunks, and now I have a hair hat. I still need to weave in this end, but now I have a hair hat with little funky ends that I still need to weave in, or I just won't. I don't know yet. We'll find out. We'll find out what I do, or maybe I won't even wear it. I'll just have it on display. But yeah, so I did a lot of hard work came with this hat. It was fun to knit. Would knit it again, would knit it normally and not do intarsia with a different color. But I didn't want to because it was a rainbow and I said Pride Month. So yeah. Yep, that's that. That's that. And then I think that's all. So, bloop. So that's all my finished objects that I have. Let's go and jump into my whips. Firstly, let's start off small and go to large, and then we'll go from there. Firstly, I have a pair of socks. Bloop. Well, I have part of a sock, and the start of a second sock. I need to work on this sock more. So this is, I am knitting a sock tube because I want to. So this is, what is this? This is Nomadic Yarns, Midnight Margarita colorway on her yak sock, which I think is I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what the yarn content is. Honestly, I lost the tag. So I bought a 50-gram skein of this, and here's how much I have left still to go. I was going to do a pair of shorties. Well, I think I still might do, well, no, I can't still do a pair of shorties. But I have an afterthought heel here in the middle of this purple stripe. But I think my plan is to get the same repeat out of this, hopefully. And then if I have enough left over, I want to do the heels in the self-striping as well. Hopefully I have like one or two, or like, oh my goodness. Ugh, sorry. So I hope I have like two or I don't think I'll have enough repeats in order to do both heels in the self-striping as well if I knit this to the same length. But I have this purple stripe as my relief to break up the socks. So I'll do afterthought, or I guess forethought before thought, but afterthought. And then afterthought toe as well. So yeah, that's that. US ones, 72 stitches. Yeah, stockinette. Plain Jane. I really want to finagle with my knitting gauge, just because. But also I don't want to, because I think my only problem is that my sock blocker is too big. So I need to get a smaller sock blocker, I think, in order to like not stretch my socks out enough or too much. So yeah, but I don't have the money for that right now. Hopefully soon. Oh yeah. So I am knitting this sock in my Dobby Sock Sack bag that I got last Christmas from Area 51 Fibers, but they get their bags from Pine and Pearl. So I had my Advent sock in this bag on Christmas during December last year. So yeah, so that's that. My next whip is also a sock. It is a Test It for the wonderful and super talented and amazing Tracie Millar. So I have this in a Simpler Home bag. You can find them on Etsy. I'll put their shop link in the description. I bought this at the the no longer existing yarn shop in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So it no longer exists, so I won't tell you anymore about it. But I am knitting Tracie Millar's, I'm testing Tracie Millar's new sock pattern that if you watch The Grocery Girls, you have seen plenty of. So I'm doing her Saturday sock. I'm a test knitter for her Saturday sock, and it's so much fun. I won't give too much away about the pattern, but it's a twisted rib sock. DK, which is super lovely. And I'm in love with this yarn that I chose. So this is my cake of yarn. This is, again, as usual, my favorite person ever, Sarah from MUSE2320. This is her Sparrow DK, which is a 75-25 wool nylon blend DK in her colorway Kitchen Sink. And my God. I was tempted because it's so highly variegated to alternate skeins, but I don't want to anymore. I mean, also being that I'm done with the leg, I'm going to be knitting the long, the regular size standard leg. And then, so I've knit all my repeats of the stitch pattern. Yeah, so there's that. So now I'm just ready to get the heel flap and gusset magic loop. I did a gauge swatch. Where's my gauge swatch? I just saw it. Oh, there it is. So here's my gauge. Oh my God. So here's my gauge swatch. I knit like a cup koozie. I'm going to use it as a cup koozie. I need to weave in my ends. But I knit I cast on 48 stitches because the stitch gauge is 24 stitches per inch. On a 3mm, which is a US 2.5, but I didn't have a 2.5, and I'm a tight knitter anyway, so I went up a size. So I'm on a US 3, and I got gauge. So I got gauge on the US 3, and I'm knitting the medium stitch count, which is 48 stitches. I do want to knit the large, just because Tracie said she needed some people to check the numbers on the large. So I'll more than happily, after I knit this pair of socks, I have a lot of DK in my stash that I can bust out. I can probably bust out a second pair of shorties. I'll probably, if I do the large, I'll knit a pair of shorties. And I think I'd go down a needle size to the recommended, since I'm such a tight knitter. But I do like this gauge for DK socks, which I'm keeping in my head for a future project. So yeah, so that's this. I have the heel flap and the heel flap to do today, which is super interesting, and I'm super excited to try it out and see how it fits and feels. And honestly, it might turn into my favorite heel flap. So there's that. So, I'll go into this whip. So my next whip is in this bag that I got from Nomadic Yarns. When I first ordered yarn from her, I ordered a, what yarn did I order? Some silk striping yarn. So in this bag, I have my Brioche Mystery shawl by Sosu Knits. Oh, I should have said it. The MKAL's over already, so it's no longer a mystery. She posted the finished shawl on her page, so I guess I shouldn't be afraid to show it. But here is my shawl. I am halfway through section 3 of the shawl, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love Brioche, and this is part of the thing I've been telling you of, like, me knitting flat and realizing that I've kind of knit flat weird. So yeah. So section 1 is just these columns. So colors A and B. Color A is this light blue, which is Storm on Crane Wife, which is an 100% superwash merino. And then color B is the darker blue right here, which is Whippoorwill, which is a 75-25 that Sarah doesn't carry anymore in Stockholm, which is like literally my favorite colorway, one of my favorite colorways. Color C is the brown, which is my favorite colorway that I have like 4 or 5 objects knit in, which is rosin. And then color D is this bright yellow, which is Sunshine by Red Stag Fibers. So yeah, I ran out of my rosin, and I knew I would, like 2 rows ago in this brioche section. Wow, this brioche texture is really pretty. So I had to get more from Sarah, which she was fine with. She was fine with giving me half a skein because she was splitting skeins anyway for a different project. So I was able to snag half the skein. So yeah, I'm not sure yet if I want to do the chevron brioche border or if I want to just do the flat brioche border. I'm tempted to do the chevron one. So after it's all knit, it gets an I-cord edging in color D, but I honestly don't think I'm going to wear this. I like the baubles. The baubles were super fun, and I learned how to knit backwards. But I think I'm going to give it to my mom. So once I get done with it and I'm ready to do the border, I'll ask if she wants the border this bright yellow or if she wants me to do a different color for the border, which I will happily do if she wants me to. So that's that. I don't know when this is going to get done. I really want it to get done because I want to get it off my needles. I want to get a different shawl on my needles, even though I have another one on my needles already. So there's that. Oh, it's stuck on my zipper. Okay, put this back in my bag. So that's that. So that's that project. Boop. And then my last work in progress is in my French Supply Co. canvas shawl bag, which again is another shawl. So this shawl is for 2 knit-alongs. This is for the Fiber Hustle Hustlers Unite knit-along, and it is for the Needles at the Ready, Let's Hear It for the Boys knit-along. Obviously, it's a Vertices Unite. I just finished section 1, which, my golly, took so long. This section, I swear, took so long. And I have all of my stitches cast on to start section 2, and I've knit back to the start. And I just have to get color D put in to start just grinding up these short rows that happen here in this section. So section A was knit in and is knit in. This is all, again, MUSE2320. This is all in Crane Wife. Yes, this is all in Crane Wife, and which is 100% superwash merino. Great for shawls. I have like 3 shawls knit with this yarn. It's absolutely gorgeous. So color A and B are Harbor, which is the darker blue, and then Nightshade, which is like the lighter green. So they're both green blues. My color theme kind of for this is like green blue, and then my section B, or my section 2, is these 2 colors. So the color C is this tan, which is not Crane Wife, oh my god. This is Dovetail, which is a neutral brown. And then my color D is again one of my favorites, which is Cast Iron, which is a tonal gray, oh gosh, just a tonal gray, which I'm gonna stripe these 2 together. I was looking at Steven's, and his first 2 colors are really like more matchy, and then his second 2 are his second section is super contrast. So I kind of wanted to mimic that. I did have a different color in mind, which I think I might throw in because I ran out of I literally have this much. This Nightshade was from a leftover shawl that I had knit. So this is how much I have left over of Nightshade. So can't really use this for any big section in this project, which I'm fine with. So either I'll probably be pulling another color from my stash to throw in once I get to start to use color B again, and I'll just replace color B with a different color. And then my color E is, so this is all the same color. This is all kitchen sink. This is all kitchen sink that I dyed up myself for my Cozy Classic Raglan. Ooh. Let me know in the comments below. Should I hold my Surrey that's also in kitchen sink in my section E? In my third section, which is this color all by itself. Should I just hold it single and just have it be fully this? Or should I hold my Surrey Alpaca with my section E? And just section E? Possibilities. I am going to be alternating skeins I'm going to be alternating every 2 skeins. When I get to the third section, just because it's gonna make it blend a lot better. So yeah, so there's that. Let me know in the comments below what I should do. I'm tempted not to, but also I'm really tempted to now because I have a lot of leftover Surrey and I don't know where I would use it anywhere else. So, yep. So that is all my whips. I have. So the fact that I just cast off a sweater cardigan means that I am going to be casting on another one. And I'm just going to talk about it right now. And then I'll talk about my other 2 future cast-ons. So my first feature cast on is going to be the So Summer shirt by Jessie May. I'm going to be, so I ripped out my outline tank, that was by Jessie May, and I'm going to be knitting with that same yarn, which is Fiber for the People. I'll just take it out. Oh wait, no, it's in this bag. Okay. So I have it currently in my bearded pearl bag, which my harvest was in. So I'm going to be knitting with Fiber for the People. This is her alpaca silk linen blend, 100% merino, 437 yards in the Going Out Jeans colorway. So I'm going to be knitting the So Summer shirt out of that. I think I'm going to be knitting the folded hem version. So yeah, so there's that. And then, oh, I didn't mention it, but that cardigan was also for Happy Knits Cardi Make Along. So I have to get that blocked and get photographs of it so I can submit to that. But I'm thinking I'm going to be casting on another cardigan for my mom. So I'm going to be casting on the, eventually I'll be casting on the straw cardigan by Joji Locatelli in Noro Garden Silk Light. I need to message a woman on Ravelry again to see if she actually found her stash of it, because the color that I want isn't in production anymore, or I can't buy it from a supplier. My local yarn shop has some, but she doesn't have enough in that colorway. I think I should probably, maybe I could head to a different store and see if they have it, but they might not because it's out of production. But it's a tonal gray with some, like, yeah, it's just gray. It's a gray cardigan that I'm gonna give my mom. It has a cute little, like a straw detail on the raglan. So that'll happen. But my biggest thing is another test knit. I am test knitting the Oxonian. I keep saying the Oxfordian because that's what he called it originally. The Oxonian shirt, sweater, Oxonian top ByDelz. So I did a thing and I ordered yarn from him. This is the bag that it came in. This isn't the yarn, all of the yarn. I have one hank of each of my colors wound up. So let me show you in order. So here's my color palette order. So the first color I'll be knitting with is this top color, which is Adorbians. Where the actually, let me show you the swatch. So here's my swatch. I kind of mimicked the pattern that'll happen in the color change. So it is a DK pattern with a cute detail that I did my swatch in. I got the right gauge for the swatch for the detail stitch, but I figured I would have to go up a needle size for the body, which I was right. So I'm using a US 7 for the body and a US 1 for all the details. So yeah, there's that. I am knitting this out of his yak sock. Abador's Waters is my first color. My second color is Harry's Suit, and my third color is Meredith Gray. So yeah. So I'm super excited to actually finally cast this on. It's been sitting, waiting to be cast on after I knit my swatch for quite a while. So I'll probably cast that on soon. I don't know. Chestnut isn't due until September, so yeah. I'll probably wait until mid-July to cast that on, maybe. And I'll cast on my shirt, my So Summer shirt first. Okay, so that's all for the knit business. Knit business to like start things off. I'm going to show you guys some stash enhancements that I picked up down at Muse while I was there the last month, even though I probably picked up more, but I can't remember. Why do I keep itching my nose? Okay, so firstly, I was gifted this skein of High Five by Sarah because it was kind of a misfit. There are kind of some brownie spots, brownie mistakes that happened as the colors bled together. So yeah, so this is High Five. Yeah, you can kind of see where it kind of bled, and you can see it really well over here on this red where it kind of really browned out, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with a funky skein. Plus it's there we go. Sorry, my phone is gonna die. But it's super pretty, and I really love it. I don't know what I'm gonna knit with it yet. I kind of want to knit a Musselburgh with it to have a sparkly rainbow hat. But I don't know yet. Wow, I really can't. I can't wind hanks anymore. I'm a hank master at work now, but I can't wind skeins without a hanker, without a skeiner. That's crazy. Okay. Perfect. Wow, that's yeah, no, that's super pretty. So yeah, so that's that. High Five on Starling. The next thing I picked up when I was browsing are these two oh wow, these two skeins of, maybe it'll work out better here. These two skeins of like neon green with black spots and black stripes and things. So these are strikes, so they're one of a kinds. And I saw them and I was like, ooh. So my plan for this is to make the Barrow Breeze by Stephen West. I don't have any neon pieces, and I kind of want a statement piece because why not? So yeah, it's just a simple, lightweight, like flowy lounge shirt. So yeah, that's my plan to make with these. I don't know when that'll happen or if it'll happen. Maybe this will become something totally different. Who knows? And then my last acquisition are these two skeins of undyed yarn. Might as well just tell you guys, but I also made yesterday, I finished making a warping mill, a horizontal warping mill. I'll have information below to the video that I followed to make that warping mill out of PVC pipe. I'm going to step into an adventure of dyeing self-striping yarn. Yeah. Just to see, because why not? I love self-striping yarn, and if I had the money to be purchasing all of the self-striping yarn, I would. So I'm gonna split these skeins in half and make 50-gram skeins and do some tests for some self-striping yarn, just to see if I can actually do it. So yeah, so that's my plan for the future. Eventually, you may see me knitting on a pair of socks that are my own self-striping yarn, which is going to be kind of exciting. Sarah's going to help me a lot with dyeing, which I really appreciate, but the process of prepping the yarn I'm getting from a YouTube video, which again I will link below for you guys. So yeah, awesome. That is everything I have for you guys. I don't really like doing anything that's like the usual like roundup podcasts of like watching and like stuff you're reading. I don't really read a lot of stuff, and all the stuff I watch is on YouTube. It's a lot of people just playing games. So I like having background noise, just cause. So that's about it. I guess the next big thing is it'll just be I'll see you guys in a month. Again, please do not be afraid to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified the next time I upload. And if you have time and don't mind knitting up a swatch for me and finding out if I'm crazy or if I'm just like purling wrong, but that would be really awesome to know. Oh, I guess I'll say that this here, if you live in the Minnesota area, in Rochester specifically, next Saturday, June 26th, Stockinette Zombies are having their festival, knitting yarn festival or something. But next Saturday, the 26th, they have an open marketplace from, I don't know what times. I'll put the times and stuff below. But if you guys are in the area and want to go see Sarah, she will be at Stockinette Zombie with a whole bunch of kits of stuff that you guys can look at and buy, and some hand-dyed yarns there as well. And if you don't want to drive all the way to Rochester, I will be working in the shop from open to close, 10 to 4 p.m. on that same day. So don't be afraid to come in and say hi. You can still place orders online at Muse, which are more than willing to be shipped out if you so desire. I think she plans on closing down the online shop on Saturday with having 2 registers active. I think she's kind of nervous about like traffic. So I think she's going to close the online shop for a bit, but then she'll open it back up after the show. So yeah. That is it. That is all I have. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great afternoon. I'm going to go make lunch because I'm hungry. Happy knitting, friends. Bye!